I'm good. What's up?
So Dan, I'm trying to understand like your worldview. Um, are
So
you
I
like
really hate worldviews because here's my worldview.
Yep.
Musa, I think that there's a single reality we both inhabit that's no different, and your mental conception of it and my mental conception of it are irrelevant.
Okay. So
That's
we
my
both
worldview.
okay. So we both will, exist in the same reality. I agree.
Yeah,
But
and
our
and it doesn't
mental.
matter. It doesn't matter what I believe, and it doesn't matter what you believe. It is what it is.
Okay. I guess that's your worldview then, isn't it?
I just said that.
Yeah. Okay. So
I mean, do you agree?
yeah.
Do you think that we live in the same reality?
I believe we certainly, according to my own worldview, I hold to the Christian worldview. Full disclaimer. So yeah, I
Yeah,
believe we
yeah.
do live in the same reality. Yeah.
Yeah, so in your reality, there's a God and Jesus, and
Correct.
but
And
that
all
would
that
have to be the
jazz.
case, right? And that would have to be true in mine.
Yeah.
So to me, if you're right, I would like to know about it because that means
Sure.
that in the shared reality, Jesus exists. But the evidence about Jesus, to me, it's clear he is mythologized. I mean, because I was raised Jewish, and
Okay.
the gyrations that went through the New Testament to twist the Hebrew prophecies is insane to me.
Okay. All right. And so, on the basis of your conviction or your belief, on your worldview, whatever you want to call it, your conception,
Sure. Yeah.
upon what? Because it was a very interesting conversation with your last speaker, and you kept on saying,
Yeah.
you're not a philosopher, you're not a philosopher. But
I'm not a philosopher.
I grant that I'm not a deep philosopher either. I have no qualifications whatsoever. But don't you agree, to some degree, we are doing a bit of philosophy when we determine the questions of the origin of life, or
Yeah. No, let me clarify what I'm about to say. I'm not a Phil bro, right? I'm not trained in classical philosophy. I'm not a rhetorician.
yeah,
I don't know rhetoric. Some of these people can get up here and use logic and just create verbal arguments that to me are just they're just puzzles
yeah.
that have to be untangled. They don't represent the nature of reality. They're just a language that they're good at speaking and twisting. So
Yeah, sure, I can appreciate that. Yeah, so they're pretty much like sophists, engaging in
yeah,
these,
stop.
abstract,
Exactly.
ambiguous,
Exactly.
logical problems, and having you try to figure out and then somehow prove that God
Exactly.
exists from that.
Exactly.
I'm with you on
That's
that.
what I'm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. Our worldview, if we are to be convicted of it, has to adhere to reality. So I'm with you on that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm not here to do any of that sophist kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm here
good
to
because I
understand.
can't stand it.
Yeah, but I'm here to understand a bit more about like your worldview in terms of truth. Now, I know you spoke a whole lot about truth of the last guest,
Sure.
but it sounded
Truth.
like, yep.
Go ahead.
I was just going to try and understand your position, is that there is no thing as objective, absolute truth.
There is. We don't have access to it. The human mind does not have access to it. Reality is the truth.
Right.
Like I said, there's this reality. It's the truth. We have a limited ability to interface with that. It's limited.
Okay.
We will never get access to a peek behind the curtain, as I say. It's always going to be a model. It's always going to be a shadow of that. Sometimes that model may actually be 99.999% close to it, and we'll never know that it's 99.999% close to it. You know what I'm saying? We
I
have
know
no
exactly
ability
what
to
you're
do
saying.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
If in that case, if you're saying we'll never get to that, we'll get close. We'll get shadows and tops.
And if we do get to that, we won't know we got to that.
Oh, okay. In that, that helps me a lot. In that case, how can you say we can never get to truth? Because in that statement, it sounds like that you're presupposing what truth is, identifying it, and saying we can't get there.
Sure. Because I know that we are limited in our ability to interact with the environment. I have evidence of that. For example, we can't see X-rays, but we discovered they exist. We can't see infrared light.
Yep.
So for me to say that we will guaranteed 100% create all the tools we need to understand this reality is hubris. It seems highly unlikely that we will do that.
Okay. In terms of you seeing and x-rays and stuff, then is the ultimate truth, I guess, you have to experience and see and touch and feel?
So, no, the ultimate truth exists. For us to make a model of it, we have to see, touch, and feel it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way. Unless
Yeah.
you think, I mean, I know in your worldview, you think God puts the truth into your mind or your heart or whatever, right?
Somewhat true. I still believe that believers and unbelievers alike exist in reality that he created. And he created this universe with all the metaphysical properties, and we do exploring of inherent things of this reality.
What do you call a metaphysical property?
Well, let's just say the laws of logic, or the uniformity of nature, how things always are, and we can predict from past experience and posit to the future, for example.
I don't consider the uniformity of nature metaphysical, and the laws of logic are not something that exist outside of our mind. They're a language we've described to describe reality.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean the same thing. The laws of logic exist inherently in reality. We use language to describe it.
I don't think that's the case. I disagree with that.
Okay, so
I don't believe.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just like all the models, it's likely they do, but I would not have the hubris to say that they do.
Okay.
So I would say that our concept of the laws of logic do represent reality, but I would not be surprised if we found out they were violated in some way. It wouldn't surprise me.
In that case, how in these conversations, with me and others, do you, for example, I think you're utilizing the law of non-contradiction.
I am, but Musa, that's like saying, how can you use Newtonian physics when quantum physics exists? I'm not saying that I'm going to magically discover that at the way we interact that the laws of logic break down. I think that's unlikely. But just like we discovered that quantum physics doesn't represent the macro world, we may find something the case with logic. I don't know if we will, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did. That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, while it's still, proven as current, pertaining to reality, you're utilizing
It's not proven.
Correct?
It's not proven. It's
so
a
you
model.
don't believe in non-contradiction?
Dude, I think that is highly likely to be the case, and I operate as if it were the case. But I don't know for certain that it is an axiom of the universe. That's what I'm saying.
But you do operate and act on it and
of course. I'd be stupid not to, because,
Why?
It appears to be that way, but that's all I'm saying. Yeah,
but why would you be stupid not to?
Because all the observations point to the fact that it exists.
Okay, and that kind of goes back to your ultimate definition of truth. It's pertaining to reality?
Yes.
Okay.
It's that which comports with reality, yes.
And therefore, it wouldn't be a social construct in the sense we describe it with language, but the law of non-contradiction is pertaining and inherent in reality. Isn't that right?
Well, again, I don't assume that, just like I'll use the gravity as an example.
Okay.
Newton's laws of gravity are inherent reality, but our understanding of them were shaken up when we discovered the quantum realm. We had to modify them to add coefficients. Yeah. So it is quite possible that what you say is the law of non-contradiction may have to be modified when we discover something else. But for right now, it appears that that's not the case, so we're going to go with that. But I wouldn't say that we know for certain that in all cases it's always going to operate this way. I will suspend some level of, I don't think we have access to. We don't have the hubris to say the law of non-contradiction is an axiom of the universe. That is a statement that no human can make.
Okay.
You could say it appears to be, and it's likely. I would accept all those. But to say it is an axiom of the universe is a ridiculous statement that a human makes. It's ridiculous.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to harmonize your stance, because I feel like in one sense you're saying we can get close to the truth. The truth is what corresponds to reality, but we can never know ultimate truth to make absolute claims. Is that right?
Right. That's correct.
But then how do you, in the same breath, make an absolute claim that God is not real?
I don't say so. I don't say absolute God is not real.
Okay, sorry. I thought that's what you were assuming.
No. The Christian God isn't real because of the data.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Jesus, the New Testament's claims about Jesus fulfilling the prophecies of the Messiah are false. That's what I'm saying for that. Now, I'm not saying that God can't exist. I think it's unlikely, but no. But Jesus, as written in the Bible, that can't be, because the New Testament writers rewrote the Jewish prophecies, which is ridiculous to me.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, look, that changes things up a bit. I guess. Look, I won't go into the scriptural part because that's going to take a whole new tangent. That's probably going to take forever.
I mean, I would like to believe if a God exists, I want to know about it. I just don't see any evidence for it. But like I said, certain claims, like the Quran, is false. It says false things. The Bible says false things. It's just. I mean.
But again, when you say that. I just struggle a bit to understand, because you're saying this is false.
Yes.
This is false. Yet.
Well, I'll explain.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. Are you a Bible literalist?
Sort of. Do you mean like a biblicist? I'd adhere to the Bible.
How old do you think the Earth is? Let's start that way.
You know what? I was a young Earth creationist, but recently I've been tending towards the old Earth creationist. So do you know Dr. Hugh Ross?
Fine.
He's kind of...
No, I don't.
That's okay.
I don't. But
that's right.
Okay, so fine. So right, but so you're not denying science there. That would be an example. If you said the Earth is 6,000 years old, I would go, well, that flies in the face of the data that we have, as an example.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. So you're taking like objective facts of the universe.
Yeah.
And you're comparing them to the Bible. But we just got done establishing that you don't have any ultimate truth as a standard, though.
No, but I do have models.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have models that appear to work. For example,
appear to work.
Everything is appear to work. I mean, I'd have hubris if I said that I know it works in every and all case. That would I'd have to have omniscient knowledge. I would have to have knowledge of everything to say that. I can't say.
Yeah, I agree. Omniscient knowledge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can roll with that.
So what I'm saying is that so let's talk about. I'm trying to think of something. I can only, like I said, with Jesus, there's specific claims about the Bible makes about him.
Yeah. But why don't you just give me a fact that you know, unequivocally, something that you know?
I don't know anything unequivocally, but I will say, for example, that Newton's laws of motion are pretty solid,
but not 100%.
Right, because when we discovered quantum mechanics, we had to modify them, and that wasn't that long ago. That's 100 years, right? I mean, we modified them when we got new data. So, of course, I would not have the hubris to say, and now we're done, it's perfect. Nope.
Yep.
They probably are going to be modified again. But at a macro level, I would say they're pretty damn reliable.
Cool. I mean, taking that example with Newton and gravity, you mentioned, because I don't know the details and extent of that, you'd run roughshod over me with that, but I'm assuming that when you say modified, that we enhanced our knowledge of it and had to modify his formula. But did it disprove the general kind of thrust of his? Okay.
No,
modified,
it did not.
Enhanced. No. Okay.
Enhanced. There were coefficients that are zero at the macro level on his equations. That when you get down to the very small level, they're not zero, and you have to make sure you add them in.
Oh wow! Okay.
As an example.
That sounds very sci-fi. That's very fascinating. But
but that's what it is. I mean, well, think about it this way: when things are very, very small, these coefficients are very important. But when things are very, very big, those effects are effectively zero, so you can ignore them.
Okay. Well, it sounds like, with the theory of gravity with Newton, it's almost like that equation, was a development process with the quantum mechanics, and we kind of developed in time.
But with all science is a development process. Every single thing we know is a development process. Yeah, I would agree.
Agreed, and I agree with that too. It's the observable universe. Okay.
Well, I would like
look,
to say, I mean, I would look. Here's what I want about God. If something quote unquote breaks the laws of physics as we understand them, I'd like to know about it, because that would be like, holy crap, we got to look into this. But I haven't seen any of that. Like, I've heard people make all these supernatural claims about a deity. I don't know if you do, and I'm not talking about you, but those claims never hold up to scrutiny.
Yeah.
So if they did hold up to scrutiny, I would be like, holy crap, there's something going on here. That's my thing. So
Yeah. I guess from my point of view, I think that. Have you heard of the transcendental argument?
I have.
See, I think when I learnt about that and read the corresponding scripture as well, I felt that was very convincing for me. That's why I was trying to understand from your point of view, well, what exactly truth is and
which one's a transcendental. Remind me, is that the uncaused cause business?
It basically says that for things to be true, you must presuppose other things. That's a very bro explanation. But
Okay.
basically it's peeling the layers underneath our claims and looking at what needs to be true in order for our claims to be true, so to speak.
Right. I mean, I don't worry about truth. I know that I don't have truth. I just have models. I don't see the reality. I just have a model of the reality that appears to work, and I'm okay with that.
Fair enough. So I feel like it's your worldview. It's kind of in flux, depending on if reality would change tomorrow.
Well, if it did, then everything goes out the window. But it doesn't look like that's the case. So I would agree with you on that.
You can't be certain, right?
I can't be certain of anything. But you know what? Humanity's been on this planet for a long time, and it hasn't happened yet. So or doesn't appears it hasn't happened yet.
But
so
doesn't that say something to you, Dan?
What?
That, what you just said, that last statement, that last sentence, humanity's been on this planet, or life has been on this planet for so long. Doesn't that say something to the rigidness, to the concrete pattern of nature around us about reality?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't see a need for a mind to have created it, though. It could be eternal. Can you imagine the fact that the laws of physics just are eternal, no mind needed, and everything else has arisen as a result of them? No origin, always existed.
Yeah, well, I guess when I look at reality, I see, well, I don't see them, but we utilize the laws of logic, or we observe things and test them to make observations and then infer to the future. And I think to myself,
I'm saying, we've discovered that quantum fields are a thing, and it appears that it's possible space-time, matter, everything can emerge from excitation of quantum fields. And quantum fields are likely eternal, never created. So it's possible that the true nature of reality is this quantum field that has always existed. Where'd it come from? It didn't come from anywhere. It is. That's what it is. That's what reality is.
Well, could you say
that's
that?
What it is.
Do you have do you hold to a belief on the origin of life? Then, are you an evolutionist or?
Oh yeah, I mean, evolution is a model that is very robust. Evolution is undeniable. Okay. For so many reasons, and Adam and Eve is so impossible given what we know about genetics, what we know about everything. So yeah, we evolved. It's clear we evolved. Now you could say God is the force behind evolution. Okay, I can't say anything to that, but
Yeah, well, I don't think that comports with scripture. I mean, people try to play with the idea of dirt and stuff like that.
The Catholics believe in evolution, so
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Catholics say that evolution is the mechanism God used to get the diversity of life on the planet. Catholics are, not science deniers. They're pretty good. So
yeah. All right. Well,
man, I appreciate you coming. I've got some people in the queue. So
okay. No problem, man. Thanks for your time, Dan. All the best.
Yeah. Thanks. It was good.
Bye bye.